Our first guest tonight is an actor, prankster, and entrepreneur who I knew long before people were pitching him business ideas at urinals. Now he's playing a record producer in the new thriller, Vengeance. In theaters now, please welcome Ashton Kutcher. How you doing, man? How you doing?
It's been a minute.
Man, we go way back.
Way back.
Way back, baby.
Back in the back.
Now, wait, do you
Back there, in the back.
The first time I remember meeting you was at a celebrity MTV bowling event.
Oh, yeah.
And dude,
I won the whole thing.
Dude, you were doing cartwheels. You were doing all kind of stuff. I said, I got to hang out with this dude.
I didn't even know what was going on. I was like,
that was a long time ago.
I was bowling strikes that night.
He was, man.
It was crazy. I had like a beer in my hand while bowling. I was doing like between the legs. I
didn't know who you were.
I won the whole thing.
You were, man. I was like, who is this dude? This white boy is out of his damn mind. Now, you remember we went to Costa Rica.
Oh, we did go to Costa Rica?
We went there to open up a casino.
Yeah, it was like a casino.
Online casino?
Yeah, it was back, so, okay.
He was wild.
I'm not even sure that it was a legal casino.
Yeah, I don't know.
They flew us down, and we're yeah, it was a free flight to Costa Rica. I've never been to Costa Rica.
But we were there for only 24 hours. And I know you get nervous what I'm about to tell, but it was so
I'm nervous
beautiful.
with everything. By the way, just the fact that you're here, I found out that David was hosting, and I was like, this is the night I get canceled.
No, man.
No. But here's why. It's because we used to hang out before TMZ, and the things that happened, nobody knew. Now you're talking about the Costa Rica thing?
No, man. Ashton, it was so beautiful in Costa Rica. I don't know if you remember,
but yes, the palm trees.
You remember we held hands and we prayed.
Yeah, the Kumbaya circle was fantastic.
All our hopes and fears, holding space for each other.
You were talking to my friend TJ on the Rich Eisen show, and you were like, yeah, it was rough. I was like jet lagged down there from like the flight, and David, it's 1 hour time difference between here and Costa Rica.
Well,
How were you jet lagged? You were jet lagged.
I was liquor
lagged.
Yeah, something like that.
That should be a new thing. We should just coin that right here, liquor lagged.
Now look, do you remember when you saved my life? This man saved my life at the Motorola Christmas party. Again, this is back in the day. I was pounding like spicy curry crab balls and doing shots of champagne, and you know right there, that's a deadly mixture. My breath was kicking so hard.
I don't recall this at all.
You swooped in like a surgeon. You said, David, come right over here now. You said, you ain't going home with nobody because your breath is kicking. Look, we need to, yes.
I did that?
Yes. So I put like 452 mints in my mouth, and I was good to go. Yes,
did it work out?
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Listen, I would want someone to do that for me.
No, you were great. The funny
if my
thing
breath
was,
is hollering, I want somebody to quiet me down.
You were so serious that you swooped in like, this is not a joke, this is not a prank, man. Come right over here. We got to hook you up. So I appreciate it. But, you know, the thing I like about you, Ashton, is you were saying now you only act when you want to.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to, because, you know, you took care of your money and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I
got really lucky really early. Yeah.
So you've been investing in startups and stuff like that?
I've been investing, for like the last decade plus. I started investing in startups, and it's going very well. You know the thing, there's something that like annoys me. So I just got excited about it, and for me, like acting, I just wasn't excited to go to work every day.
Right.
And so I just went and started doing this investing stuff, and it started to work out, and we built a firm, and now we have a firm called Sound Ventures, and we invest in a lot of early stage startups.
Well, what kind of startups have you invested in? Anything we know?
Like early on, it was like Airbnb and Uber and Spotify, Robinhood, and a bunch of other things.
Damn it!
But But the funny thing is, now I watch like all the actors that when they decide they're gonna take a break, like they make a public announcement out of it. It's like, I'm taking a break. I want all of you to know that I'll be taking a break. You only have to call like one person to take it. You have to call your agent and be like, yo, dude, just don't send me anything for a little bit and I'm good. But now people are making to make this announcement, like I'm retiring.
Well, they want people to know. You're older and wiser now, as am I. I have a daughter. You have kids. You have 2 kids?
2 kids, yeah.
And you're married?
Yeah.
You're married to Mila?
I have the best wife.
I don't know if she's the best wife.
I'm telling you.
Ashton, I don't know. I mean, I love your wife. I think she's amazing, but I don't know if she's the best wife. Did she really make you give up your ticket on the outer space rocket ride? She made you give up the seat?
Yeah, well, okay. So I was supposed to be on the first flight on Virgin Galactic in space. I bought a ticket for it, and I had the ticket.
Why?
And I was like, I always went, but then we had kids, and she's like, do you want to be on the first flight or like the 50th flight? And she had sound logic, and yeah, she made me give it up.
I understand. Well, you got to do stuff for your family. That was like when I was married to my first wife. And,
man, I spilled all over myself on here.
Can't nobody see that?
You got a napkin?
Yeah, we got something over here. Here you go.
God.
Here you go, man.
Oh, look at that.
I
didn't think you were gonna have one, really. Look at that.
You're solid. See, like the same thing happened to me when I was married to my first wife. Penthouse magazine called me, and they wanted me to host the Penthouse Pet Olympics. And
that's the same as going to space.
It is, man. She made me She made me give that up, and I was like, damn.
Oh.
It was heartbreaking.
Jeez.
It was.
What?
Yeah, man. What? It was crushing, man. We're not together no more. We're not together no more.
What?
We're not together because I still got anger behind it.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's
move on. Let's move on. Now, are you preparing for a marathon?
Yeah. I'm going to run the New York Marathon.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this your first marathon?
This is my first marathon. I heard you ran L.A.
I did. I ran L.A. It was buck wild. This is in 2003. And can I give you some pointers?
Yes, I want the pointers.
And what I'm trying to help you with is so that you survive.
Okay,
because a lot of the pain, it's not going to come the day you run. It's coming the day after.
Right.
If I can tell you anything, it is to do this. You need to put Band-Aids on your nipples. Now, these are a little fancy, but put these bad boys on. And
I'm into it. I'm telling you, this is the thing, right? Can I have these?
Yeah, take them, man.
Really?
You want to put them on?
I went for like a training run last weekend. I did like 17 miles.
Yeah.
My nipples started to bleed, David.
I had rivulets of blood.
Nipples. And I'm like, what is happening right now? This is like my legs were fine, but my nipples were on fire.
It's no joke, man. It is no joke. But the marathon changed my life, man. You're gonna have an amazing time.
Well, so I'm running for Thorn, our nonprofit.
Okay.
So we built this nonprofit up that fights against the sexual exploitation of children. So we built software that we deploy to law enforcement and companies to help them find kids that are being sexually exploited faster. And they came to me and they were like, hey, do you want to run this marathon? And I was like, oh, man, marathon, okay. Yeah, I'm in. And then I started training for it. Yes. And I'm doing the training, and I'm like on my treadmill training, watching the instructor, doing the thing. And so I have like one of these Peloton treadmills. And I'm like, man, this is a lot of running. Because the only thing you can do to get better at running is run.
Yes.
And so I'm like, I don't know, how am I going to do this for the next 2 months? So then I called up Peloton because I came up with an idea for a show. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, what if we do a show in my basement where I invite friends to run with me, and we bring a Peloton instructor and I interview people while we're running?
Okay.
And so we set this thing up in my basement, and we've been shooting, and we've shot like 10 episodes of this show.
That's amazing.
With like Natalie Portman and Kenny Chesney, and like we just friends that are coming, Chris Paul, like people coming over, and we're running and chit-chatting, and it's making running fun.
That is beautiful. Now, we got more with Ashton Kutcher right after this.
What's this podcast about, anyway?
Well, it's about America.
Okay. It's about the myths that we tell ourselves.
Who's it about?
All of us.
Every story we tell is ultimately about a person.
Abilene Shaw.
Abilene.
Yeah.
You're making a podcast about Abilene.
Well, it's a little about Abilene. I'm trying to make it more about...
No, it's about Abilene. The person. That's all you need. What do you think about her music?
I haven't really heard it.
Shut the front door.
Welcome back. I'm here with Ashton Kutcher. That was a scene from your movie, Vengeance.
Yeah.
BJ Novak wrote it, directed, and starred in it?
Yeah.
How you know BJ?
BJ did it all. So I cast BJ in Punk'd like 10 years ago or something like that. I know, like now I'm like the guy that's been in the industry. I'm like, oh, these little whippersnappers, now they're out here to...
Yeah, but a lot of people came through Punk'd.
So BJ had this amazing screenplay that he wrote, and he came to me, he was like, hey, I'm gonna direct this thing. This can be my directorial debut, and there's a role I want you to play. And I read the script, and it was one of the best scripts I've read in like a decade, because I think it captured exactly where America is right now.
Yeah.
Where there's an extraordinary ideological divide between like the urban centers and the rural centers of this country. And it's about a New York podcaster that goes to Southwest Texas to basically prove to everybody how dumb they are.
Right.
And he gets a lesson along the way. And it's just a beautiful but very funny film that I hope everybody goes and sees. Because
I really enjoyed it, and I thought you were particularly great. It's a whole different flavor.
It's a whole different vibe.
Now, I wanted to ask you about your mustache in the movie, the porn stash.
Uh-huh.
What's up with that, man?
All right. So I don't know whether it was like, it was like an old, so this character, when I first saw it, I was like, this is interesting. And he kind of had this like, I don't know, he kind of had this like Boss Hog vibe to him. But then I remembered there was this character, and I don't remember if it was like Cannonball Run or Smokey and the Bandit, but like the cop that was like the bad guy, like he had this like pencil thin mustache, and I was like, all right, I think this guy's got this like, it's like this air of sophistication in.
So you went deep cover on him.
That was the move with it. And then my wife had to deal with it, and that was all fun.
Hold on. Are you telling me this is the best wife in the world, Mila?
Best wife in the world.
She took you outer space ticket. You couldn't fly on the rocket.
Yeah, but I got to keep the mustache as long as I want it.
Hey, well, that's a win.
So, you know, we've been together for 7 years, so when I brought home the mustache, she was like, oh, it's like a different guy. It was like exciting.
Well, I love that, man. I know you and Mila have raised a lot of money.
Oh, for Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Mila's from Ukraine and grew up there till she was like 6 and then moved here. And so when we saw that, and we had met President Zelensky like back when Trump was withholding capital for them, which was kind of crazy. We knew about that incident before it was public knowledge, and I was like, this is crazy. He's blackmailing another country. And we became friendly with him. So when this whole thing kicked up, we're like, well, we got to do something.
Yeah.
And we raised like over $30 million to help. But
it was incredible.
But the biggest thing I want people to realize is that it's not over. And as it's fallen out of the news headlines, it seems like, oh, it's quieting down. It's still very much going, and it's one of the most important things that's happening in it. If not, it is the most important thing that's happening in the world today, because if this domino falls, it gets really ugly after this. And there's ways that people can help. There's a new platform I just found called welcome.us, where people can adopt a refugee family, or communities, or churches, or school groups, or Boy Scout that you can adopt a Ukrainian refugee family, and there's 5,000 families that are in the queue to come to the United States of America that just need the support and connections to school and work and all the various functions around it. And so if you have a chance and if you're so interested, check out welcome.us and see about adopting a refugee family. And because we've got to do all that we can to continue to support. And that's where we're at on this right now.
No, that's beautiful, man. That is a beautiful and worthy cause. I just want to say it's been so great reconnecting with you. I think you and I, we need to go to outer space together, man.
I'm in.
Come on, knuckle bump, baby.
Let's go.
Woo! I want to thank Ashton. Vengeance is in the theater now. We'll be back with Amanda Stenberg.